Chapter 5, Malware. Introduction. This lesson introduces the discussion of malware very often. People call everything that corrupts their system a virus without being aware about what it actually means or accomplishes. This module gives an introduction to the different varieties of examples that come under the wide umbrella known as malware, their distinguishing features, prerequisites for malware analysis, and an overview of the malware analysis process. Malware is general term for all types of malicious software, which in the context of computer security means software which is used with the aim of attempting to breach a computer system security policy with respect to confidentiality, integrity, or availability. As a student, IT user, soon to be an IT professional, it is necessary that you can detect a malware attack and protect your computer from different malware attacks. In this module, topics covered the following: what is malware, origins and purposes of malware, different types of malware, and what is virus and types of virus. Learning outcome of this module, students will be able to first, explain the definition of malware. Second, discuss the origins and the purposes of malware. Third, list the different types of malware. And last, discuss the term virus and its type.
What is malware? Malware is a term for viruses, worms, trojans, and anything that can set distractions upon your computer or any tech device. Hackers also use this to gain access to your confidential informations, but not every piece of malware is a virus. A malware is a general term that also includes many types of malicious software that lack virus' ability to self-replicate.
The origin of malware. The term malware was used by computer scientist and security researcher Yisrael Raday in 1990s. But before this, I have one example of malware, and is the Creeper virus in 1971. So before it was used by Israel, BBN Technologies engineer Robert Thomas created the virus as an experiment. So what is Creeper virus? Creeper virus was created to infect mainframes on ARPANET. When the program did not alter functions, steal or delete data, it moved from one mainframe to another without permission, while displaying a teletype message that read, "I am the Creeper. Catch me if you can." Creeper was later altered by computer scientist Ray Tomlinson, who added the ability to self-replicate to the virus and created the first known computer worm. The concept of malware took root in the technological industry, even the examples of viruses and worms. It even appears on Apple and IBM on personal computers in 1980s, and it even got popularized when the WWW or World Wide Web got introduced in 1990s. Since then, malware and security strategies to prevent it. Malware encompasses all types of malicious software, including viruses, and cybercriminals use it for many reasons, such as tricking a victim to providing personal data for identity theft, stealing consumers' credit card data or other financial data, assuming control of multiple computers to launch denial of service attacks against other networks, infecting computers and using them to mine Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Different types of malware. All malware types have one or many general characteristics, and here's one: disrupt computer's operations, steal data, install additional malware, and monitor user activity. And here are different types of malware. A virus is the most common type of malware that can execute itself and spread by infecting other programs or files. Worm. A worm can self-replicate without a host program and typically spreads without any human interaction or directives from the malware authors. Trojan. A Trojan horse is designed to appear as a legitimate software program to gain access to a system once activated following installation. Trojans can execute their malicious function. Spyware is made to collect information and data to the device and user, as well as observe users' activity without their knowledge. Ransomware. Ransomware is designed to infect a user's system and encrypt its data. Cybercriminals then demand a ransom payment from the victim in exchange for decrypting the system's data. Rootkit is designed to obtain administrator-level access to the victim's system. Once installed, the program gives threat actors root or privileged access to system. Backdoor. A backdoor virus or remote access Trojan RAT secretly puts a backdoor into the affected computer system that enables threat actors to remotely access without alerting the user or the system security program. Adware is used to track a user's browser and download history with the intent to display pop-up or banner advertisement that lure users into making purchase. For example, an advertiser might use cookies to track web pages user visits. Better target advertising. Keyloggers. Keyloggers, also called system monitors, are used to track nearly everything a user does on their computer. This includes emails, open web pages, programs, and keystroke.
What is virus? Virus is a type of malicious software or malware that spread between computers and cause damage to data and software. And there are 9 types of virus. Number 1. Resident virus. Resident virus is a type of malware that hides and stores itself within the computer's memory. This virus may be designed to block the action of antivirus program, and this virus only takes action when the infected file is executed. Number 2. Multi-partyte virus. Multi-partyte virus is defined as a virus that infects the entire system and infects the boot sector as well as files. This virus is one of the most dangerous computer viruses and is designed by the malicious cybercriminal who infect vulnerable system boot sector and executable or exe files. Number 3. Direct action. Direct action virus is a type of computer virus that can damage the system of local files and attach itself directly to a exe or .com files, specifically designed to carry out specific action, including infecting and modifying files in a computer directory, rather than just spreading itself to other systems. This virus is attached to unexecutable files that require to opening or running in order to spread. Number 4. Browser hijacker. This type of virus is malware that impact a user's web browser setting and fraudulently force the browser to redirect to website that user doesn't intend to visit. This virus is easily detected, and this virus is believed originated from a group of software companies called Download Valley. Number 5. Overwrite virus. Like the name implies, overwrite virus overwrite file content to infect the entire folder, file, and programs. This virus is very harmful to the computer because it destroys the original code and removes the existing program. Number 6. Web scripting virus. This virus lives in certain links, ads, image placement, videos, and layout of a website. This virus only infects when the user downloads a malicious file and visits a malicious website. Number 7. File infector. File infector infect program files, such as applications, games, or utilities. Once they have been executed, they remain active and slow down the program and damage the system files, and it can infect more programs. Number 8. Network virus. Network virus travel through network connection and replicate themselves through shared resources. This virus is a severe cybersecurity threat that uses computer networking capabilities to spread malicious software, steal information, damage system, and even bring down operations. Number 9. Boot sector. A boot sector virus is a type of malware that infects the system boot partition or the master boot record of a hard disk. This virus is easier to avoid. This virus hide out in a file on a USB or email attachment. And once a computer is infected, the virus will try to infect every disk that is accessed on the computer.
Malware. With spam and phishing emails being the primary vector by which malware infects computers, the best way to prevent malware is to make sure your email systems are locked down tight, and your users know how to spot danger. We recommend a combination of carefully checking attached documents and restricting potentially dangerous user behaviors, as well as just familiarizing your users with common phishing scams so that their common sense can kick in. When it comes to more technical preventive measures, there are a number of steps you can take, including keeping all of your systems patched and updated, keeping an inventory of hardware so that you know what needs to be protected, and keeping continuous vulnerability assessment on your infrastructure. When it comes to ransom attacks in particular, one way to be prepared is to always make backups of your files, ensuring that you never need to pay a ransom to get it back if your hard drive is encrypted. Malware protection. Antivirus software is the most widely known product in this category of malware protection products. Despite various being named, most offerings test on all forms of malware. While high-end security process means it is obsolete, it's still the backbone of basic anti-malware defense. Today's best antivirus software is from vendors Kaspersky Lab, Syntec, and Trend Micro according to recent tests by AV-Test. When it comes to more advanced corporate networks, endpoint security offerings provide defense in depth against malware. They provide not only signature-based malware detection that you expect from antivirus, but anti-spyware, personal firewall, application control, and other styles of host intrusion prevention. Gartner offers a list of its top picks in this space, which includes products from Silice, CrowdStrike, and Carbon Black. How to detect malware? It's fully possible and perhaps even likely that your systems will be infected by malware at some point despite your best efforts. How can you tell for sure? CSO columnist Roger Grimes has written a deep dive into how to diagnose your PC for potential malware that you might find helpful. When you get to the level of corporate IT, there are also more advanced visibility tools that you can use to see what's going on in your networks and detect malware infections. Most forms of malware use network to either spread or send information back to their controllers. So network traffic containing signals of malware infections that you might otherwise miss. There are also a wide range of network monitoring tools out there, with prices ranging from a few dollars to a few thousands. There are also SIEM tools which evolved for log management programs. These tools analyze logs from various computers and appliances across your infrastructure looking for signs of problems, including malware infections. SIEM vendors range from industry stalwarts like IBM and HP Enterprise to smaller specialists like Splunk and Alien Vault.
Malware removal. How to remove malware once you're infected is in the pack. The million-dollar question. Malware removal is a tricky business and the method can vary depending on the type you're dealing with. CSO has information on how to remove or otherwise recover from rootkits, ransomware, and cryptojacket. We also have a guide to auditing your Windows registry to figure out how to move more forward. If you're looking for tools for cleansing your system, TechRadar has a good roundup for free offerings which contains some familiar names from the antivirus world along with newcomers like Malwarebytes. Malware example. We've already discussed some of the current malware threats looming large today. Birdie is a long storied history of malware dating back to infected floppy disk swap by Apple to hobbyists in the 1980s and the Morris worm spreading across Unix machines in 1988. Some of the other high-profile malware attacks have included I Love You, a worm that spread like wildfire in 2000 and did more than $15 billion in damage. SQL Slammer, which ground internet traffic to a halt within minutes of its first rapid spread in 2003. Conflicker, a worm that exploited uptouch flaws in Windows and leveraged a variety of attacks vectors, from injecting malicious code to phishing emails, to ultimately crack password and hijack Windows devices into botnet. SUS, a late zeros keyloggers Trojan that targeted banking information. CryptoLocker, the first widespread ransomware attack whose code keeps getting repurposed in similar malware projects. StockMet, an extremely sophisticated worm that infected computers worldwide, but only did real damage in one place, the Iranian nuclear facility at Natanz, where it destroyed uranium-enriching centrifuge, the mission it was built for by U.S. and Israeli intelligence agencies. Malware trends. You can count on cybercriminals to follow the money. They will target victims depending on likelihood of delivering their malware successfully and size of potential payout. If you look at malware trends over the past few years, you will see some fluctuation in terms of the popularity of certain types of malware and who the most common victims are, all driven by what the criminal believe will have biggest ROI. Recent research reports indicate some interesting shifts in malware tactics and targets. Crypto miners, which had surpassed ransomware as the most common type of malware, are falling out of favor due to the decline in cryptocurrency values. Ransomware is becoming more targeted, moving away from a gunshot approach.
Malware attacks on businesses spike. Businesses saw a 79% increase in amount of malware they dealt with in 2018 over 2017, according to the Malwarebytes Labs State of Malware report in 2019. What we usually see year-end or quarterly end is that there has been some sort of increase of large amount of detection on the consumer side, says Adam Kuhawa, director of Malwarebytes Labs. On the business side, it might slowly grow, but certainly nothing like we've seen these last 6 months. By comparison, consumer detection decreased by 3% over the same period. Observe that there is a significant push by cybercriminals to move away from consumers and put their really heavy stuff against businesses instead, Kuhawa adds. That really heavy stuff comes largely in the form of older consumer-focused malware that's been weaponized to become a bigger, more versatile threat for business. Kuhawa sees Emotet as one of the most significant. It is a nasty little information stealing Trojan that also installs additional malware, spreads laterally, and acts as its own spam sender. Once it's infect a system, it starts sending email and tries to infect other people. Emotet has been around since 2014 and targeted mainly consumers. Originally, it is infected a computer looking for an individual financial or credit card information to steal. Since then, it's picked up new capabilities inspired by or borrowed from other successful malware. like WannaCry or Eternal Blue. Now, it's become much more modular, and we see it able to use this exploit to travel through a corporate network, whereas about they were limited to a single endpoint, says Kuhawa. Even if it's small network in a small business, it's more juicy than infecting grandma. Lateral movement of malware is increasing according to Global Threat Report. The year of end next gen cyber attack from Carbon Black. Nearly 60% of malware attack on business are now designed to move laterally across a network. One reason for the spike in malware attacks on business might be the EU's General Data Privacy Regulation, or the GDPR. Kuhawa believes it's possible that attackers step up business attacks thinking that it will be harder to steal professional and other data after the regulation went into effect. That combined with the decline or cryptocurrency values and step up defense against ransomware turned attackers to what worked in the past. They always go back to what works, he said. Cybercrime is cyclical. It always comes around.
Crypto mining attacks decline. The Malwarebytes Labs report has seen a shift away from crypto mining starting in the second quarter of 2018. Due largely to the decline in cryptocurrency values, still, the number of crypto mining detection increased for the year by 7%. Instead, cyber criminals are turning into information stealing malware like Emotet to turn a profit. Overall, it seems as though criminals have reached the consensus that sometimes stealing is better than mining, the report states. Crypto mining attacks, also known as cryptojacking, involve unauthorized use of a victim's computer resources to mine cryptocurrency. These attacks often occur when malicious software is installed on a computer or network without the user's consent. Ransomware become more target. Kujawa notes the small, medium-sized business are becoming more popular targets. He attributes this to the likelihood of being paid for ransomware attacks often can't afford downtime and see paying ransom as the fastest way to recover. They also often softer targets than larger businesses. Ransomware detection actually declined by 26% worldwide in 2018, according to the Malwarebytes report. However, ransomware detection at businesses rose by percent. Industries most often targeted were consulting, education, manufacturing, and retail. Kujawa believes criminals focus on these industries because of opportunity and likelihood of ransom being paid.